Welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. I'm John. I'm the host. I'm a little more awake. Hey, I hope you guys are too. We had some very interesting events occur over the weekend. Now, I've been talking about this schism between reality and these various groups out here that are trying to create their own little worlds. Now, so you could call us, our thinking, me and you as preppers, we are mainstream thinkers. We understand the language, we understand the need to prepare, we see where things are going, but there's these groups out here, right? And I just got done talking about Antifa and how the news media calls Antifa or anti-fascist or anti-racist, and the Proud Boys are radical right-wing. Once again, you and I probably have more in common with our thinking with the Proud Boys than Antifa. Not that I'm trying to make an unhealthy association with someone or some other group, but I'm saying is the media is still choosing to call Antifa, right, a group, even though the president says, hey, you guys are going to be labeled as terrorists, period. But it just shows that there's a schism in thinking. Another schism that we have to worry about for shit hitting the fan is something that has reared its head in Texas this weekend, big time. And it's the subject of ransomware over government operations. Now, a lot of us kind of laugh. Ha ha ha! Take that, government, you bunch of idiots. Right? Why don't they attack the IRS and shut them down? Well, I mean, there's a number of government bureaucracies that I think would do well to be shut down. But imagine the chaos that's going to come from this. Now, the brazen nature of these hackers who have broken in, not just to cause trouble, but to demand money. They are becoming themselves pirates, thieves, these ransomware people. Now, the company that I worked for previously, we were subject to a ransomware attack a year ago. At the same time, the local city and county offices were hit with ransomware attacks. And they're demanding money. Now, what's incredible is they're demanding what? Cryptocurrency, right? It's incredible that they think they can get away with locking up the government and demanding money that's going to be electronically passed around the internet. They can be tracked and they will be tracked. At the same time, they don't seem to care. And governments are actually paying the ransom. Can you believe it? Right? In Texas, right, the Department of Information Resources, said that there was a coordinated ransomware attack. 20 or more agencies are now locked up. And that's not many if you think about all the state, county, city government, as well as federal government buildings in Texas and all 50 states, plus forts, arsenals, dockyards, and territories. These people have the ability to lock everything down. Now, once again, we might save some money as taxpayers, but I'm sure the government workers will go sit in their desks and do nothing because they can't do anything. They're just going to sit there. They're going to get paid still. Right? But what does this let us know about the world in which we live? There's a schism in thinking, an idea, a concept that says if you can get away with something, do it. So Antifa's doing it because they're getting away with it. And now these ransomware hackers are doing it and they're getting away with it. What happens if they shut down the EBT system? That is the welfare credit card system. What are the welfare recipients going to do? Are they going to act like sane, rational human beings? Some of them. Are some of them going to act like Antifa members and say this is the man and it's capitalism hurting them and punishing them, and so they're going to fight back? Yeah, you can bet there's going to be a lot of them. What if these ransomware, what if they attack the banking system? The local branches that we do business with. What happens if they do that? Banking will be shut down. It'll be out of the bank's hands. It'll be out of the government's hands. It'll be in the hands of these pirates, these criminals, kidnappers, thieves, everything you can put on them. If they could do it by computer, they would. Ransomware. This should give us a good idea how 1 minute everything is fine, and the next minute the chaos begins. Ransomware is a few buttons and a hit the enter, and then it starts and it goes. This could be being done by domestic hackers. This could be being done by Iran, North Korea. This could be being done by Australia, Canada, or England, and made to look like someone else so that they can be blamed at the same time, cause chaos here. It could be being done by Mossad. It could be being done by any number of secret government organizations. As preppers, we need to understand the seriousness of this. Right? They could shut down, if they can shut down government computers, can they hack into the control systems for power plant production, power distribution? How about fuel refineries and fuel distribution pipeline systems, whether it be gas or oil, right? How do we know what they are and aren't capable of? The government won't tell us. They won't tell us how vulnerable they are. I mean, imagine this. What if the government had come out, all governments, cities, counties, states, federal, and said, we're vulnerable to ransomware attack, meaning some kid in a basement somewhere can hack into the system, plant a virus that locks everything up and demands ransom. How good would you feel about keeping your money in a bank? How good would you feel about your way of life, knowing that they can hack in and turn off the power? It's getting crazy, folks. It's getting crazy. It's not getting better. This is symptomatic of this alternative type of thinking. Remember, we're the sane, rational people over here that understand that 1 + 1 is 2, that ABC is short for the whole alphabet, that there are laws and ways that people live together in harmony and peace. And then there are these other types of thinking out here. The communist thinking, the hacker thinking, the alternative lifestyle thinking. They all want to live in a different world, but they want to create it at your expense. And they're willing to destroy what we have. Sane, rational thinking. They're willing to destroy that in order to get their little version of utopia. A world where they can move around in cyberland and not be seen and caught and get away with all sorts of crimes. Now, it used to be that way on the street, right? You had the sheriff or the marshal or the constable out there, and you had a highway bandit, and he could gallop around from town to town on his horse, remaining anonymous and causing trouble and robbing people. Eventually they get caught, but they have a good time doing it, and they live their own alternate little lifestyle as banditos, right? Today, they think they're running around as banditos on the internet in another world that we don't understand over here because we're busy trying to live, right? But they're parasites and they're living off of us, off of the system, and they're trying to destroy the system at the same time. The same way the bandits, the thieves, the road pirates out here are harming our system by systematically robbing us, right? 100 years ago, yeah, they'd rob you on horseback. Today, right, it's on cars. Tomorrow, right, it's through computers. It's always about some group trying to get a free ride. There is no free ride. There is no free lunch. Right? People who are on the take by government, they're getting welfare. They're getting freebies. They're milking the system. The same way people are coming up from Mexico, getting free money, taking our stuff out of our stores and going back to Mexico with it. And the extreme leftists, one of these little crazy groups, thinks that that is wealth redistribution. One of their ideas. That is taxing the rich. That is me and you. They think of us as rich because we own something in our hand. We're rich because they don't. And it's a way to tax us. It's a tax increase, giving this money to illegal immigrant Mexican nationals who come up here. They give money to them and then they expect you and me to pay it back. That's a tax increase. And it's a theft of property. We have all sorts of this activity going on over here. Illegal immigration, alternative lifestyles and thinking. The college scene, yes. One of the biggest debts on the planet right now is college tuition. But what have they taught in college? To think in one of these alternative worlds and go ahead and try and change the rest of the world and make them pay for it. It's as if they're getting revenge on the host. The parasite has attached itself to the host. And while it sucks off of the host, it also wants to kill it, thinking that it is going to become the host. It is going to take over the system. The parasite never takes over the system. Parasites, if they become an infestation, kill the host, and then the parasites themselves die as a result. A nicer way to say that is killing the goose that lays the golden eggs. That is what these people are doing. They are killing us, and they're going to kill themselves in the process. And some of them know it, and they don't care. And some of them don't know it, and they think they're going to profit by it. What you and I are is preppers. We have food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense. We have a plan. Because I don't plan on dying as a result of all of these people hacking into computers, shutting systems down, demanding things for which they don't get. And then they point to the government, though, and go, well, the government holds us hostage. The government points a gun at us and demands money. It's called taxes. They're just doing the same thing the government does, except they're doing it against the will of the people. Ransomware. Well, yeah, and the government is now doing things against the will of the people. I didn't ask to be taxed to the degree that I'm taxed. I didn't ask to be regulated to the degree I'm being regulated. I didn't ask for the government to demand I get vaccines and that I accept these alternative concepts of reality. I didn't ask for any of that, but it's being forced on me and you. But we can see where this is going. Can you see it? Right? I can see it. You can see it. We can see that they're bringing the system, the entire system down. The political system, the power system, the finance and monetary system, the legal system, and our social systems are all rotting at the root because of what these people are doing. And they're happy about it. They will parade their own deaths and destruction, thinking they've won. What we are going to do as preppers is survive and get through this because of our planning and our foresight. It's incredible that we've been forced into this position. We are not violent. If we were violent, we would have what? Organized and run to the state houses and taken them over and said no more of this shit. But we're not violent. These people on the streets, they're violent. These ransomware, it is a form of violent attack because it has a consequence and a cost. Right? They are going to hurt people. They're going to cause loss and expense that you are going to have to pay for. So these ransomware guys, yeah, they're the Robin Hoods, right? But they're robbing from you and me. More to come. This week is going to have some fabulous, crazy shit in it. And I look forward to sharing some ideas and concepts with you about it. Understanding where we're at. This development of the partisan war that is coming is something I didn't foresee to the degree that it is now happening. It's because I think the system is being held up so long that the cancer and the rot is getting so bad that we're seeing it play out in forms like Antifa. Something that could not have existed 10 years ago, wasn't dreamed of 20 years ago, now is flourishing. But it is a disease, it's a sickness. It's a disease and a sickness. And it is going to erupt, right? It's kind of the difference between a cut on your arm and a cut that has been infected and gone gangrenous. It stinks, it smells, it makes you inoperable, right? You could have limbs removed because of it. That is what we've got going with the social decay, the moral decay, the government corruption. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but unfortunately, I don't have any good news to report with regard to what's going on in our country. The only good news, well, there is good news. I'll report it, right? The sex trafficking, child trafficking, human trafficking scumbags are on the ropes. They have been exposed. The people know about it. We're asking for something to be done about it. We're seeing the connections of the wealthy power elite and understanding that other countries are involved in this. It's not just England. It's not just the United States. It's not just Cuba. It's not just Central and South America. It's not just the Middle East. It's the whole world is involved in this sick, perverted reality that they use to control and buy and sell people with. That's the good news. The bad news is that can cause shit to hit the fan in order to hide themselves. Are we going to get through this? I pray that we do. Are we going to have shit hits the fan? Yes, I pray that it's SHTF light. All we can do at this point is get prepared and understand the mentality of these people. Understand it so you can be prepared when it happens. Chance favors the prepared mind is yours. Godspeed to all of you. Semper Fi.